Let me ask you something, and I want you to actually think about it. Years from now, someone looks at you and asks, "Where are you from?" Not just your country, not just something you check on a box. They mean your culture, your roots, your story. And for a moment, you pause. You search your memory. You find pieces, a dish you've eaten, a phrase you've heard, or a story someone told you once. But you can't fully explain it. You can't fully own it. And in that moment, you realize something uncomfortable. You didn't lose your culture all at once. You lost it slowly. Today, I want to convince you of this. If we are not intentional, we will lose parts of who we are, and it is our responsibility to preserve our culture before it fades. I'll show you why this is happening, why it matters, and what you can do starting right now to stop it. Culture is quietly disappearing, and this doesn't happen dramatically. It happens quietly in normal everyday life. For me, it started in a kitchen in Guyana. Not a peaceful, perfect kitchen, but a real one. Loud, noisy, and alive. There's always something cooking. Someone's always talking over someone else. And somebody is always asking who finished the juice. And somehow, everyone understands everything. At the time, I thought I was just there for the food. But now I realize that kitchen was shaping me. It was teaching me how to speak, how to connect, how to belong without ever announcing it. But here's what I didn't understand then. Moments like that don't last unless someone carries them forward. And right now, fewer people are. According to UNESCO, cultural traditions and languages are disappearing at an alarming rate within just a few generations when they are not actively passed down. That's not something happening somewhere else. It's happening right in our own homes. Words are used less. Traditions show up only on holidays, and stories are told only when someone insists, "Tell it properly this time." Not because people don't care, but because life gets busy and culture becomes something that we delay. "I'll learn about it later. I'll ask about it someday." But the truth is, later is where a lot of things disappear. Now you might be thinking, okay, isn't that just a part of growing up? Isn't change normal? Yes, change is normal, but losing your sense of identity is not the same as change. According to the American Psychological Association, having a strong sense of cultural identity is linked to a higher self esteem, stronger mental health, and a deeper sense of belonging. So when culture fades, it's not just traditions that disappear, it's stability, it's confidence, and it's the quiet understanding of who you are when everything else is changing. And without that, people start to feel disconnected, like they're not fully rooted anywhere. So, what do? We don't wait. We don't assume that culture will continue on its own. We are to be intentional. Preserving culture is not automatic, it's a decision. That means you learn even when it's inconvenient. You practice even when it feels unfamiliar. You share even when no one asks. Because culture is not preserved in the big dramatic moments. It is preserved in the small moments, in your daily conversations, in the meals that you share, and in the habits that you repeat. Now, let's be real. Some people may say, I don't have the time. I'll do it later. I don't know enough. But those reasons, they may sound small, but they have big consequences. Because if everyone waits, then who is going to carry it forward? And the truth is, you don't need to know everything. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to start. Even the smallest, simplest thing is asking a question or learning one tradition. That's where it begins. Picture this. In one future, someone asks you where you're from, and you hesitate. You smile a little. You try to explain, but deep down, you know you're missing pieces. Now picture a different future. You answer confidently. You don't feel awkward. You don't feel unsure. You understand your culture. You can explain it. You can live it without shrinking it. You feel grounded. You feel whole. Now, the difference between those two futures is not luck, it's choices. Here's what you can do starting today. Ask one question, call someone, sit down, listen, learn one new thing, a recipe, a phrase, a tradition, and practice it regularly, not just when it's convenient. And most importantly, share it. Because if you keep it to yourself, then it stops with you. Let me take you back one last time to that kitchen in Guyana. What I once thought was just noise, laughter, voices overlapping, food being passed around, was something powerful. It was identity being passed down in real time. And every single one of us comes from something like that. A place, a people, a story. And the truth is, that story does not continue on its own. It continues if you choose to carry it. So don't let where you come from be something that you almost remember. Don't let it be something that you wish you had asked about. And don't let it end quietly without you noticing. Because one day, someone will ask you where you come from. And when that moment comes, make sure that you have a story to tell.